One example of the preservation of the Hopewell civilization is Dickson Mounds. Located in Lewistown, Illinois, Dickson Mounds is part of the Illinois State Museum.
Dickson Mounds was the birth of an idea by a chiropractor, Dr. Don Forrest Dickson. And he did his original excavation hoping to find a large number of people in a single spot that had been buried together. And he thought if he could find that, he might determine what type of disease was instrumental in taking the lives of those people. But he, in fact, found that very early on, but then began to expand his excavation, and in fact, very quickly gave up his practice and spent the rest of his life here devoted to the excavation and then the preservation of Dickson Mounds. We're fortunate that he wasn't a professional archaeologist, and I say that because at the time he was doing his preservation work in the 1920s, the primary focus of many institutions and museums was on the acquisition of large numbers of objects, and they often paid very little attention to the information that those objects might have contained about the cultures that they represented. So Dr. Dickson's work here was a radical departure from the past. Havana Hopewell is all over Illinois, and it was certainly a cultural phenomena that arrived overnight for a period starting maybe by 50 or so AD up to maybe 200 AD. The whole mid-continent was cast in that spell at that time, and then began to drop away. We don't know why. We don't know if the religion began to fall apart, if the important people who held it together died away, or if there was simply an upheaval and people rebelled against the culture. We don't know. But each of these cultures in Illinois starts out, reaches its climax, a wonderful peak, and then it drops away in time, and then it's replaced by something else that begins to build up. This is a map of Illinois created by the Illinois Archaeological Survey. I think there are somewhere just under 170,000 archaeological sites recorded. I would doubt that 10% of the archaeological sites that exist in Illinois have actually been found. In fact, in Illinois, it's probably easier to find where an archaeological site is on the landscape than where one isn't. As we have dealt into and excavated these sites, we found that these ancient people are far more complex than we had ever imagined, and the advanced civilization that they had here rivaled many of the great civilizations that you would see in Mexico or South America. We have so many surprises in American archaeology. In fact, anything you write, you better be prepared for in a year or two or three to have a surprise cast upon you that's going to change the image of what you've already said. And one of those great surprises was the finding of the bison kill site below Peoria. Until we found that, bison weren't supposed to have been in Illinois until about 1500 to 1550 AD. We found a nearly complete bison skeleton, but when we were digging it, embedded in the 10th right rib was a chipstone spear point. And when I looked at it, it was like stepping in a bucket of ice water. So we got two radiocarbon dates for it, one 398, the other 413 BC. We sat bison hunting back in Illinois about 2,000 years. So just that one find has magnified into this incredible new understanding of not only bison in Illinois, but man's hunting of bison and butchering techniques now.